Hello and welcome back. I had a bit of fun making that footage over last weekend. Today's Wednesday, 8th of May, so the year is beginning to march on a bit now. So it's sort of early evening and it's bright and sunny. It's probably the warmest day of the year so far. So really nice to be out in the allotment over the last few days as well. So let's just get this to run around onto the outside line. And here we've got the what can be quite annoying chuff sound in action here. Bit of a selling feature of the model at the time, I would imagine. But I think I might disable it in a moment so it becomes a little bit quieter. Let's just watch this come around this far edge of the elevated section here. And we'll roll this up to the 00 station. Whoops, I've just knocked something down behind me. We'll find out what that is in a moment. And we'll just get that to a gentle stop there. There we go. So a box of items I've just pulled on the floor by knocking it with the cable. Let's plonk those down there. There we go. And we'll see if we can sort out the box before I trip over it again. So that's just the empty boxes from some of the things I've been cleaning up. So we'll put that over there for now. And I think last video we had some of these things out, or the video before, I forget now. So I have cleaned some things up, not these. So these are the next in the queue. So let's just pop these down over there for a moment. So all of these items we've had the wheels out and cleaned them. So they're all going to run really nicely. So it's sort of time consuming, but it's well worth it because we're going to get nice running out of those. So a nice horse box there, very red, that one. And an ore wagon. I've got a number of other of these, or a number more of these, shall we say. So all with fairly poor running wheels, so I'll have to get around to making a rake of those up. But these were just in that box. So actually no, we won't look at that one. So there we've got the crane. So I did fish the crane off of there, but I didn't take the sprung retainers off. They stayed firmly clipped onto there. I didn't want to disturb those while I had the wheels out of this. But if you have a look at the insert footage there, you can see the mechanism in the crane still works. So there's a slight bend in the crane there, but I don't think they're acetate. But they are quite nice items. So, and then I've got to these sort of wagons with the log load. So log load's hiding in the box at the moment. So the wheels have got to come out of these, I think, and we'll give those a clean up because they're all stuck together. The wheels there, they don't run freely at all. So ideally over the next week we'll get that to. There we go. We've got the log load in here. There we go. Yeah, so that would go on there. So again, I've got a couple more of those, so it'd be nice to make up a train of those. So that'll be coming up soon, we hope. But yeah, it's slow work, but quite rewarding when time permits. So I'm just going to get a go around with the Bristol Castle here while we're at it. Just grab the controls from down here. We'll give that a little bit of a run round. Now, I did say in last week's video that we'd whip the coaches off and have a look, because I've just freshly cleaned the wheels on these coaches. I think they make quite a heavy load friction wise, so we're definitely going to get a bit of wheel slip. There we go. So once she gets running, she'll pull them round, but it is definitely nicer with the tin plate coaches and the metal wheels. It's a lot lighter load. So let's just bring that back around. No, cable's not long enough for me to go all the way over there, unfortunately. So I haven't threaded it through properly, so we'll just stay this side. The express service. Let's give that another go. Let's just have a look at those wheels as we move off. Actually, a bit more traction that time. We'll just do the once more round. That's going to run into the station over there. I don't want to pull this cable any harder because I pulled the box out last time. Let's calm that down as it runs back towards the station here. We'll just stop that a bit further there and we'll whip off one of those coaches and have a quick look. We'll get rid of the controls for a second. There we go. And then we'll get the other side. We'll have a little bit of a look at the Westwood there. Let's grab the brake. So we'll just pop it down, upside down there, and if we have a look at those wheels, we've got the plastic wheels, all axle and wheels are all moulded as one. So I think they make quite a heavy load, and these got that, I think they're what they're called compensating bogies, so they twist. I think that might add to friction, and they sort of lie on a metal hanger, and it may well cut into the axle which is hanging in the hanger, which will also create more friction. So I think they're, whilst they're really beautiful looking things, they're not, even when they're cleaned up as much as we can, personally I don't think they're as free running as they could be. Certainly not as free running as the Triang coaches. So I'm not going to wrestle with that now, but I'll get that back on. We'll jump the other side, or we'll have a quick glance over this very brightly coloured model of the Lord Westwood, or a fictitious model of a fictitious train, I think it is. I think from what I read in Pat Hammond's book, it was a bit of a sales gimmick, and possibly that the number on the tender there is the Triang Hornby, or the Hornby Railways factory. Might have been one of their extension lines perhaps, but a great fun looking item. Just jumped onto the inside and got a couple of catalogues out, but I just had a look over the footage I just shot, and I was sort of looking at my description of how these wheels go into the bogies, and I'm sort of not explaining myself very well. So we'll just whip off one of these. So I was describing wheel hangers, so these are more sort of traditional wheel hangers, where the axle is held in a bent piece of metal. It sort of hangs on the bogie frame, and this is metal on metal, and they run really, really nicely. So there are plastic variants of that. I'm not sure whether this one has the plastic wheels on it. Yes, it does. So this one has plastic wheels in metal wheel hangers. So I think they sort of they cut in as well, and develop more friction than the metal ones. But these ones are, whilst they're suspended, and they're sort of encased rather than suspended, I think is a better way of referring to them rather than hangers. So the actual axle goes in as encased wholly, and it will slide a little bit left to right, but it does create quite a lot of friction. There's a lot of material in contact with other material, which can only really generate more friction, even with a drop of light oil on there. I think we're definitely going to still get into trouble anyway. So I just thought I'd give that a bit more of a description there. So I think I'll just get all these coaches back on, and then we'll have a quick look over the Lord Westwood and the catalogue. I got all of those coaches on. We'll just have a swift run around with this little tank locomotive. We'll just give that a little bit of power. Wonderful rattle these models make on the rails. So we'll have a nice express service all the way around. Let's see if we can come in a little tighter. Past the bendy signal box. And we'll storm straight through the station in this instance. Under the elevated station. Whoops. Just getting a bit wobbly there with the camera. Slight hesitation as it comes through that set of points, and we'll bring that gently to a stop there. So if I now change points 3 and 4, so we'll go straight and straight. So we'll just run the Bristol Castle round to the Triang station while we're here, just because we can. There we go. Completely different sound, a much smoother running model, and of course with the plastic wheels, apart from the friction, you get much less sound. Nice gentle stop there. It does have such a lovely hum about it, the motor in the Bristol Castle. So we'll pop that there, and then I think we'll call it a day here with the 3-rail. So we'll pop that down there, and let's grab the controls for the Lord Westwood. Actually, we're all caught up in things here. That's there we go. So let's just give that a little bit of power, and we'll bring that around now. I was going to take out the little spring clip on the tender there, just to quieten that down, but I didn't. So I think we'll probably live with it for a moment. So we'll just get that to come around here. Follow it through there, through the tunnel, back through the station. So we'll just go around one more time. We'll see if we can bring this onto the inside line. So once more through the station. And I'm just going to stop it just before the points with the green dot on, which is about there. So points with the green dot on, just hiding over there. So I'm just going to fiddle with a couple of sets of points, and then we'll just transfer that onto the inside line so we can get better access to it. So we want curved that one and curved on that one. Good plan. So we'll get this to run through. So let's see if we can keep an eye on that. And we'll just stop that there, and we'll tidy up points behind it. So we need to do that one. So we'll try and keep an eye on that. So we'll make that one go straight. And then I've got to do the one hiding over there again. Got the right switches and everything, so we've got one to set over here. So what have we got? We've got that one and that one. Oh, we're all good. I thought I had one left to do. You know this means there's going to be a derailment any moment now because of the one I've forgotten. But let's bring it around. So you saw that footage of it on the rolling road at the beginning. So it's a fairly sort of tidy thing on the inside. So we won't break it open again. We'll just try and put the controls down here. So we'll just have a swift look over this model. So we'll just grab the notes. So Lord Westwood, the dates I have from it are 73 to 75. And from my looking in the catalogues, it sort of showed up in the 73 catalogue. And let's have a look there. It's a fairly impressive picture with it. It's a bright red model there, new in this year. So this is the 73. Let's have a look at a terrific cover there. So what does it say? A lavishly decorated model in gleaming red with white markings. She has magnesium, exhaust steam sound and plated wheels, and is designed to be the pride of the line. So certainly a striking model. Whether it's true to life or not, I think anybody would be sort of proud to have that on their railway or on a circular track on a carpet. So the following year, 74, it appeared in the 74 catalogue. Great big picture here, and it's in a set called, as far as I can see, it's called the Lord Westwood. A complete railway layout, a really wonderful gift that has all the fascination and enjoyment of model railways. A large loop and siding, bridge, tunnel, level crossing, station, signal and rolling stock with operating features. Contains the 460 express locomotive and tender with exhaust steam sound. So I'm probably not getting focus on that when I'm pointing at it. So milk wagon, cement wagon, brake van, car transporter with lift up centre section and 6 cars. operating tipping wagon with pipe load, trackside switch station, junction signal, level crossing, girder bridge and a tunnel. Complete with System 6 track layout with large loop and siding with 2 uncoupling ramps, buffer stop. There's a recommendation down there, so I wasn't glancing at where the camera was pointing there. I was trying to read. It's easier to read looking down the side of the camera, but you lose track where you're looking. It's recommended that a Hornby power unit of the 905 or 910 type is used. So yeah, so no power unit in your set, but this is what it could have looked like. I think you'd have been quite pleased with that. Rather an impressive amount of items to get in the one box, I think. Let's just have a quick look and see if we can see some controllers. So that would have been the pipe tipping car there. There we go, we got some controllers, so I think it's recommending. Now we'll get straight to the controllers page. I had these type of controllers on the railway during lockdown. I was sort of quite good fun with those. They're relatively crude, but sort of fairly good amount of power. And they look absolutely terrific. I thought they looked really, really nice, especially with the banker lever frames on the top. So let's pop the catalogues down. So I just need to back up a little. Yeah, that sounds like, there we go. That's sprung open. I can't remember the number of the rail either. So while we're at it, we've got a Western mainline style coach there. So these have been on the railway a little time now. So that's a R.765, 1960 to 62. And then we've got a Pullman first. So what named one we've got there? We've got Jane. So that's R.228. These were sort of 58 to 73. And then we've got Ruth. And then we've got the Pullman brake second, car 79, but somebody scraped off the numbers. These are from that great set with the diesel locomotive we looked at a few videos back. So let's just have a quick glance at the Lord Westwood. So we'll whip off the tender. So a great shiny thing. So another great reuse of the mouldings for the Albert Hall. You can see you've got the spring clip there, and that just rubs on the scraper there. I was going to ping that off, but without two hands available, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So we'll just have a swift look at that. I think we can almost retain some focus on it at this distance. Yeah, so it is really is red, isn't it? So, especially when you get the light on it. So bodywork moulded in red by the looks of it, and then parts painted up in black. You can see sort of wear through. Let's see if we can get down there. So on that foot plate running down the side, Lord Westwood in white over the wheels there, and a little bit of lining wearing away on the cylinder blocks. And let's grab that there. See, we're going to grab the focus on the cab detail, wire handrail, got a full set of steps on it, and it's got the crudely plated wheels which they're using in the early 1970s, plastic drive gear, and plated wheels on the front there, sort of copperish coloured. It is a metal separately fitted part chimney cap there, so it's quite a nice thing. So it is basically just the Albert Hall, isn't it? The model that came along in the sort of later 60s. But Mr. Snooze had one of these on his channel, and his is in a far prettier box than mine. Very jealous. But mine's in this sort of scrubby old box. I think it's sort of standing in the image at the beginning. It's a bit of a tear on it there. And we've got R.765 Lord Westwood 460 locomotive. And there's a price ticket there. I think, I don't know, does that really say? I don't know. I was going to say £1.37, but I think I'm not reading that quite right. I'll get a real close-up picture of that. And we'll be able to, perhaps might be able to make out what's on that. So we'll pop that in at the end there. So we'll just leave that down there. And you can see in the insert picture there, you can see how it looks in the box. But yeah, Mr. Snooze, his version of the model, and he pointed it out in the video, that it doesn't look like the one in the picture in the catalogue. It doesn't have plated wheels. So his didn't have plated wheels. And I have to admit that before I got this one, I did have another one. Or I do have another one, but I bought unboxed sometime before this one came along. And when I bought this, I didn't realise it should have had plated wheels, or the catalogue said it had plated wheels. So let's just see if we can grab this one out. In fact, we're probably going to end up having to put the camera down to whip this one out. I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed. So there, if you have a look at that, that's definitely not got plated wheels. So I'm going to whip that out of there, and we'll come back to this in a second. It occurred to me it would be a brilliant time to bring down the Albert Hall from the elevated station. So we'll just give that a little power. I've had a fiddle with some points, so we should better just drop this straight back down. We've just got to change one as it comes around the loop here. Otherwise it will short out, so I just need to stop that just before the straight section there. And we'll just need to change that one there to curved. And then that should allow it to continue on its way. So I now need to remember to turn the controller in the opposite direction. There we go. And we'll just bring that down into the lower triangle station. Making a lovely little rattle. All the track joints has a completely different sound when it's up here. So it's going to sort of tear away as it comes down the slope here. Nice, gentle stop. Oh, gone behind the box there. I've sort of forgotten that was there. So let's just ease that out onto the line there. There we go. So perhaps we can see it together there. I'm just going to put those down there. Going to get all tangled up in a second. Yeah, so Mr. Snooze is comparing it to the picture in the catalogue. So initially I'd sort of wondered whether somebody had changed the body, but then he's got one perfectly boxed with its instructions and everything. And it's got steel wheels or unplated wheels just like this one, and bogey wheels on the front just like this one. These are sort of slight whoops. Let's see if we can rectify that. So these wheels aren't plastic, but they're not quite plated either. They're sort of a dull coloured metal, slightly reddish in colour. So let's pop that one down. We'll grab that one, but I think to all intents and purposes, when you look at the wheels, they're the same wheels, but the metal seems to be a slightly different treatment on it. So they're not painted up or anything like that, but it's just that when you clean them up with a glass fibre brush, they just look a little bit brighter, but they're definitely not plated or chromed like those ones. And this plating is quite crude. It does wear through, and there are slight bubbles in it on some models from this period. So it wasn't a perfect process. So I think what we'll do, we'll get these locomotives on the rails. I've just taken a little spring clip off there, so we've got a little bit more sanity when we're running these. I don't know whether you noticed when I opened the other box for this other Lord Westwood, I'd already removed the chuff box from that one as well. I think that's missing a spring clip as well for this one. I am short of a spring clip, but it just rubs on there, on the other side of there, and it makes that noise. So I'll get these on the rails. I think it's crying out to be sort of double-headed, isn't it? So there we have them. So I've put the one with the plated wheels on at the front. It's a stronger, or shall we say a sharper runner. So I suppose that's what you would expect with the plated wheels. It is a slightly nicer reaction on the controller. Let's give that a little bit of a run, see how it does. So again, a little bit more relaxing on the ears without the chuff in action. But I wonder whether they just had some chassis to use up, and they used, rather than using the plated wheels, or they ran out of plated wheels and just used some with the standard wheels on them, perhaps. But quite an interesting variation to have. So we'll just run that around there. And we'll just drop that back onto the straight track. There we go. So it is definitely a bit more of a relaxed runner. Let's get the Albert Hall underway as well. Let's see if we can get the controls on there. Let's give that a little power. So we'll just run that around here. Now I think we're going to have to alter some points, otherwise we're going to have a derailment with this when we come back towards the station, or exit the station, shall we say. So we'll just bring that around there. And we'll get a gentle stop there, so the point's just ahead of it. They need just flipping back, otherwise we're going to have a derailment there. So we'll make that one straight. And then we'll just get that underway again. So we'll let that run away there. Now what I'm going to do is bring this to the inside line. So we'll get the inside line running again. But I'm just going to simplify the route so we're not going through all of the points and round the back of the turntable. So loads of friction coming around that tight curve back there. So that one wants to go curved, and then we need to get this one changed here. So we'll make that one go straight. Then we should have the entire inside line all trouble-free. Let's see if that works out. So we'll go for some power. There we go. Hear the Albert Hall coming in from behind me here. I keep knocking things over behind me today. So that was the box dropping on the floor. So dropped it on the floor there. Albert Hall. So we definitely had a derailment there. And as I was trying to turn it off, I turned the controller the wrong way. So we've got everything come adrift here. So that one and that one. Let's see if we can get all this re-railed. So it is asking for trouble, really. And what else have we got? I think one of these coaches has come adrift here as well. So it all suddenly went far too quick, basically because I was turning the controller in the wrong direction. I think we'll give that just one more go round with the pair of these together. And I think I'll separate them. There we go. Albert Hall storming around there. So that's all looking a bit better, isn't it? Let's see if we can get both trains in the same shot. There we go, Albert Hall stormed into the tunnel again. And if I come back around here, we'll see if we can get that again. We'll come in really wide. Albert Hall storms through the station. But I think that's probably about it for today. Not quite finished. This really had to be done, thinking about it. So let's give this some power. So I've got all of the coaches from the two trains all combined as one. So we'll just dial in a bit of power. And we'll give that a bit of a run round. So we've got the 3 halls. Quite a long train for this railway, probably the longest I think I've had on here. See if we can look down. So I think we'll just let that trundle around and we'll see if we can get a couple of interesting shots of it. just come down this far side, see if we can get this storming towards shot here. A fairly impressive train. I'm just going to grab the controls. And we'll just bring these gently to a stop. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye now.